It's official. The one big beautiful bill is passed after a marathon voting session. One that the likes of I've never seen it before. I'll be honest with you. We've got Buddy Carter on. He is a U.S. Representative, District 1 Republican, great state of Georgia. Buddy, how are you?
Oh, I am wonderful. As you can imagine right now, I'm ecstatic.
Well, I can't imagine. It just happened in the last hour where the one big beautiful bill passed the House of Representatives. Have you been involved in anything that was this elongated before? This seemed to be abnormally a marathon session.
It was. It was. Look, this is a generational piece of legislation. There's no question about it. The speaker alluded to this, perhaps one of the top two or three pieces of legislation ever. And this is so significant. I hope people recognize that, and I hope they come to appreciate just how difficult this was, but just how historic this was.
Immediately, the misinformation and disinformation came out. You know, Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader, has been lying about this for a while. 14 million people are going to lose health care. People are going to be dying. Bernie Sanders said they're going to die because they have no food. We're going to take food out of the mouths of hungry people and give it to Elon Musk somehow. I mean, the lies have been rampant and horrible, and they can do that as long as we on the other side are telling the truth through our words. There are people, however, who are scared to death about Medicaid leaving. Do I have it right when I say, Representative, if you qualify for Medicaid, you're still going to get it? If you qualify for food stamps, you're still going to get them?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. What has happened here has been fear mongering by the Democrats just to try to raise people's fears. Nothing could be further from the truth. Listen, I was chair of the Health Subcommittee on Energy
Right.
and Commerce that helped to craft this legislation. And I can tell you, because I had a big part in it, a major part in it, that what we did was to strengthen it. We saved it. We stabilized it. We made it better for those who truly need it. The aged, blind, disabled, mothers, children. We made Medicaid a better program. What did we do? We got illegals off of Medicaid. We got ineligibles off of Medicaid. We made sure that able-bodied adults are working or at least volunteering 20 hours a week. And most Americans agree with that. They ought to be. If you're able-bodied and you're on Medicaid, which is a program for the most vulnerable people in our society, then you ought to be working. Now, if you're disabled or if you're taking care of a child or a parent, okay, you're exempt. But if you're able-bodied, you ought to be working. We made Medicaid better.
I worked darn near 20 hours yesterday. That's not a hard thing to do, 20 hours a week of either community service or work. 80 hours a month is not all that much, I'll be honest with you. And as you said, because again, the fear-mongering has been if you've got a special needs kid, that child is losing Medicaid or Social Security disability or something. None of that's going on. How do we make sure people know that other than, sitting on my show and you and I talking about it and then putting it on social media, do we have to do a better job of making sure the American people understand that what the left is saying is purposeful and it's lies?
Yes, we have to do a better job. Let's face it, Republicans have never been very good communicators, and we have to communicate better, and we have to make sure that people understand. Did you know there's a waiting list on Medicaid? There is a waiting list on Medicaid. We need to get those people who truly deserve to be on
Idea.
Medicaid.
Buddy, I had no idea. There's literally people who qualify who are waiting to get on it.
Absolutely. And they can't get on it because it's full. That's why we've got to make sure those who are ineligible, those who are illegal, that they are off of it. We got to make sure that it's there for the most vulnerable. It is a safety net program.
District 1 Republican, the great state of Georgia. It's Earl Buddy Carter. We really appreciate having you on. Immediately when I posted this on Instagram, as soon as I saw the vote come in, I posted on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And immediately somebody said, yeah, but the no tax on tips is only for $1,000. No, it's not. It's for $25,000. So again, there's a lot of misinformation out there. The no tax on tips happened. It's $25,000 cap, right? That should save people $1,600, $1,700 a year, I think, in just not paying taxes on tips. No tax on overtime is in there as well, and a deduction for Social Security, right?
Absolutely. All of that is included. And yes, those are promises that President Trump made during the campaign. Promises made, promises kept.
Hakeem Jeffries came out yesterday, I think it was. It might have been earlier today. I think it was yesterday. And he said that it's going to be a deportation effort on steroids. And I started clapping. I'm like, yeah, I voted for that. That's exactly what we want. Do you think the left really thinks the American people want illegal aliens who came here breaking the law and then broke even more harsher laws on top of that? Does the left think that we want them to stay here? Do they not realize it's just like an 80-20 issue now? We want them gone?
I don't think they get it. Honestly, I don't. I don't think they realize that they are on the 20%, not the 80%. And for 4 years, we suffered through this. We suffered through an open border where millions of people came across that border and undocumented, and we don't know who came across. And now we're just getting to the point, finally, with this president with passing this bill, we secure our border even more, making sure that those who are trying to get across that border aren't going to get across that border. But we need to address those who are already here as well. Thank goodness we have Tom Holman. Thank goodness we've got Kristi Noem. Both of those are going to do a great job in helping us to resolve this problem.
Does this codify, Buddy, everything that President Trump has done through executive action on the border? Will the border now be secured and there's no challenge to executive orders in courts, or is that still going to be happening?
No, there should not be. Now, I'm not sure that it covers 100% of what he did through executive order, but I can assure you that it does include the vast majority of what he did. Already, we've seen apprehensions at the border decrease by 96%, which tells you that it's working. His policies are working.
Yeah, but Mayorkas told us that it was secure. Are you? How dumb is it? We go back a year just to look at how dumb it was. 96% fewer coming across the border. We now are getting rid of really bad people who are in this country illegally, and the left is still trying to pretend like there was not a problem at the border. What was it? $66 billion to finish the wall, get new technology, and hire new CBP?
Absolutely. They're telling us that, and I'm thinking to myself, come on, guys, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. You think I believe that?
I mean, he looked at you guys and said it's secure. Then you guys impeached him, and Chuck Schumer said, I'm just gonna dismiss it. That's never happened before in history. So he walks around as an impeached guy, but they got away with the lies for all that time. Let's talk a little bit more about the one big beautiful bill. I think the president wanted to sign this tomorrow, didn't he? I think he wants to do it on Independence Day.
He does, and we look forward to that. It's going to be a monumental day in America. Our independence. What a great thing for us to be able to do tomorrow.
For those who are concerned about spending, like my representative is Chip Roy. Chip Roy is concerned about spending. I know that you're concerned about spending as well. A lot of this can get done in rescission, can it? This is reconciliation. Rescission is where the executive says, hey, will you guys take a look at this and maybe get rid of this spending? And he's already floated a trial balloon about PBS and NPR just to see if rescission can work. This isn't the be-all, end-all. This is what you could do now in this system where the Senate only needs 50+1, right?
Absolutely. And rescissions are extremely important. And you are correct. That's the way that we can do it. Keep in mind now, we can also do another reconciliation bill. And I would submit to you that we need to do another reconciliation bill. We need to do one with the intent of decreasing our deficit, budget of deficit reduction. That is what we need to do. And look, I'd be all in favor of that. There are other things that we can do to make Medicaid and Medicare programs better. There are things that we can do to save taxpayers money and that we need to do. Chip Roy is right. Rand Paul is right. We need to address our deficit. It is the biggest thing that we're facing as a country right now.
I've been talking about it on my show the entire time. And again, it's District 1 Republican, great state of Georgia, Buddy Carter. The fact is, you've got a situation where money is being spent like crazy, but the CBO, when it looked at this one big beautiful bill, was not only conservative, it was actually ridiculous. They were saying a 1.8% growth when growth under President Trump the first time was over 3%, and right now it's pacing at about 3.4%. So with that in mind, you literally will see lower spending and you start paying down the deficit because the economy's booming, right?
Great point. Listen, we're so frustrated with the CBO. They never get it right. And the reason why they don't get it right is they don't take into consideration dynamic scoring. They don't take into consideration that we have been growing. Our economy is going to be growing. And this is going to help it to grow even more. If we had not passed this bill, 88% of Georgians would have been looking at a tax increase of $1,500 a year, which equates out to be about 7 weeks worth of groceries. We can ill afford to have that happen to our economy. Yet, evidently, our senior senator, John Ossoff, thinks we can because he voted against it.
Well, I'm here to tell you, John Ossoff, hopefully is short-term in that job. The fact that he ever won that job, we could talk about that over a drink or something next time, buddy. But, I mean, the fact that he got that job after I saw that Star Wars video that he did back in the day, I mean, again, I think the guy's an actor. But I'm glad that you said what you said. And both those seats will be up very soon. Hopefully Republicans and more conservative people can get in there and get it done. It's Buddy Carter. Let me ask you about this H.R. 875. It passed the House. It's the Jeremy and Angel Say and Sergeant Brandon Mendoza knows, Protect Our Communities from DUIs Act. This talks about illegal aliens in this country doing something that they're not punished enough for, in my opinion. In fact, the House of Representatives, I believe a year ago or 2 years ago, rejected this because the Democrats didn't want this, which didn't make any sense to me. Fill my audience in on exactly what this would do.
Well, what this does is that any illegal alien who is found guilty of a DUI or a DUI-related offense will be deported and not allowed back into this country. Why does this hit home so much for me? It hits home for me because in my district, in Brantley County, in Nahunta, Georgia, a 15-year-old granddaughter and her grandmother were killed by a drunk illegal immigrant in this country. And what did he get? He got 15 years for each death. Now, he'll be out by the time he's 67. Who's footing the bill for him to be in jail during that time? We taxpayers are. He ought to be deported. He ought not be allowed to come back into this country. I met with the other grandmother in my office. It just tugs at your heartstrings to listen at her talk about the loss of her granddaughter. Listen, this is common sense legislation and something that we need to go forward with, and we will, and we have passed it.
Buddy, why would anybody on the other side be against this? What's the argument? That you're not giving the proper due process? I'm not sure I get it. If you kill somebody, if you're arrested actually just for DUI alone and you're here illegally, goodbye. That should be easy. What argument are they saying? And does it make any sense at all?
Well, they're saying it's duplicative, that already we have laws on the book that would require this to be done. Well, if we do, why isn't it being done? It's not being done, and we need to make it clear that it's got to be done.
It is Representative Buddy Carter. He's a District 1 Republican, great state of Georgia. I want to talk about ICE for a second while I have you, if you don't mind. The attacks on ICE, there's an app out there that you actually can track where ICE is, and of course that puts them in harm's way. ICE is wearing masks because their entire families are being doxxed, their children are being doxxed, their wives are being doxxed, and bad guys will do bad things to people who are enforcing the law. Just give me your general opinion about the left having no regard whatsoever for the life and limb of these ICE agents who are doing a job that they're allowed to do by law and basically put them in harm's way.
Those who are defending this, those on the left, they should be ashamed. Not only should they be ashamed, but they should be prosecuted for just that by encouraging this. Listen, our ICE agents do yeoman's work, and we appreciate the work that they do, and we've got to support them, especially if it's something impacting their families. And it cannot be tolerated in our society. Just another example of the 2080 rule with the far left and with the liberals, that they just side with 20% of everything that's right.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, that's for sure. It is Buddy Carter. We appreciate coming on. I have it as buddycarter.house.gov. It's not Carter, it's Buddy Carter, the whole thing, right?
That's right, buddycarter.com.
BuddyCarter.com or BuddyCarter.house.com, former chair of the Health Committee. Talk to me about HHS. I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who I've interviewed a couple of times, is doing a great job, and he's standing firm in the face of people being ridiculous on the left in these hearings and so on. Tell me about the job you think he's doing. Is our food getting healthier? Are we going to know what's inside of vaccines before we're told to go and take them? How do you feel about HHS right now?
Oh, I feel great, especially under the leadership of Secretary Kennedy. I think he's doing an outstanding job bringing to light some of the things that should have been brought to light years ago. And I appreciate his efforts. I appreciate his work. And I think that he's going to make America healthy again. And we're going to do everything on the health subcommittee that we can to help him do that.
Why do you think? Now, you're a pharmacist, or a former pharmacist?
Yeah.
So you
I'm
know
still
a lot.
pharmacist.
Well, good. There you go. Well, God bless you. I'll ask you for advice, coming up if we ever get sick, God forbid. But having said this, you know more about the medical stuff, about pharmaceuticals, about medications, about remedies than most of us will ever know. When it comes to what we're learning about the lies during COVID, I mean, ivermectin definitely works. It's an award-winning medication. Hydroxychloroquine definitely works. We definitely had adverse effects that were hidden from us about these shots we were told to take. I mean, are we now in the know? Are we not going to be honest with the American people because we've got this administration and great people like you out in front?
I do. I feel like that now we're going to have more transparency, and that we don't have to worry about what an agency is telling us, specifically HHS, because under the leadership of Secretary Kennedy and of Dr. Oz, who's doing a great job with CMS, I think that they're both, and along with the president and under the guidance of the president, I think we're going to have more transparency, and that Americans are going to have the truth and the whole truth.
Yeah, I know you've got a plane to catch. I can't let you go before I talk to you about this one last thing. You nominated President Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. One, tell my audience why you did that, and two, is it going to happen?
It is going to happen. It should happen. He deserves it. Now, if you can bring about peace in the Middle East between Israel and Iran, the Abraham Accords, what he's doing with Ukraine and Russia, who deserves it more than Donald Trump? I mean, they gave it to Barack Obama for giving speeches. Donald Trump has taken action.
You're right. That's why they gave it to Obama. But I mean, he literally just ended a 30-year war that Bill Clinton couldn't end in Rwanda. I mean, what does this guy have to do? Do you think?
I don't know what he has to do, but whatever it takes, he's done it.
Give me the last word for your district and for the entire country on the one big beautiful bill passing.
Outstanding. We are ecstatic. Americans won today. They won a major victory.
Thank you for working so hard for Georgia. Thank you for working so hard for this country. Go get that flight. It's District 1 Republican, the great state of Georgia, Buddy Carter. Buddy, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're back after this. Stay right here.